If you like this video, why not subscribe? One of the most important things on any film set is the food. I don't care what your budget is, if you don't feed everyone, you're going to have a serious mutiny on your hands. So how do you do this effectively without spending a ton of money? Well, in an effort to figure this out, I went to an expert. I approached Hilah Johnson, who has her own internet cooking show, Hilah Cooking, if she would share her ideas about how to feed everyone frugally. And she said yes.
Hey Frugal filmmakers, my name is Hilah and Scott asked me to come on today and do a segment on frugal craft services. I have a cooking show called Hilah Cooking, but before I did that I actually worked on several short films and feature films as an actor, crew member, and sometimes both at the same time. And I can tell you that craft services is one of the most important things to think about, especially when you're doing frugal filmmaking and maybe a lot of the people aren't getting paid very much or at all. It's really important to think about their comfort and try to feed them well. So we're going to share some tips on how to save some money on drinks and some real quick and easy recipes that people like that you don't have to be a cook to make these. And first we're going to get started with some homemade granola bars. So for the granola bars, you're going to need a couple of bananas, dried fruit and some nuts, sesame seeds, oatmeal, some almond butter or peanut butter, and that's it. The first step is to blend up your bananas either in a blender or a food processor until they are finely pureed. And then we're just going to mix everything together. Sesame seeds. Once it's combined, we're just gonna pat it down into a 9x13 baking pan that I've just sprayed with a little bit of oil. So once you've got your dough evenly patted out into your pan, we're just gonna put it in the oven at 325 for about 20 minutes. All right, some things you want to keep in mind for everything on your craft services table is not to give people just a whole bunch of sugary junk food, because then everyone's just gonna blood sugar spike, blood sugar crash, and then everyone's in a terrible mood. So I love hummus also because it doesn't need to be refrigerated. It's a good source of protein. You can cut up your own celery and carrot sticks and it'll be a lot cheaper than buying a pre-made cut up thing at the deli. If you put just a little bit of water in the bottom of a container and cover them and stuff, and they'll actually wick that water up and stay nice and crispy for you all week. So I've got a recipe for hummus that I'll link to, because making your own hummus, you will literally save like 4 to 5 times over buying hummus. It's so much cheaper to just make it yourself, and it's really, really, really easy. Another thing that I would recommend is go into your bulk section and buy some peanuts, some raisins, whatever. Those things are like $4 a pound. You get 16 1-ounce servings out of each of those, so that's great. And then if you provide a little scoop so that people can get it out easily and not contaminate it with their dirty hands, then you can avoid having to feel like you need to buy little individual packs of anything. You can get lots of stuff in the bulk section, mini pretzels, M&Ms, stuff like that. Bags of fruit. You will also save a lot of money if you buy like a whole bag of apples, like $3 for 3 pounds of apples. And I prefer apples over anything because they're easy, they're not messy, you don't get juice all over costumes and sticky hands, and they last for a long time. You can keep them in the fridge for a couple of weeks and it'll be fine. After your bars have baked, I cut these into 12 squares. If you wanted to even make 24 out of them, you could totally do that. And these, again, store them in the refrigerator when they're not out on your craft services table, just to keep them fresher longer. And as for drinks, people spend a lot of money and a lot of trash waste buying bottles of water. I think that's fine if you're on a short shoot with a small cast and maybe you're not planning on doing a lot of movies. If you're just gonna try it out once or something, I think that's fine. I would recommend putting a marker next to the water cooler so people can mark the caps or the bottles with their initials or something, just so you don't end up with a bunch of half-empty, unclaimed water bottles all over the place, because that is very wasteful and not frugal. But if you have a large cast or a long shoot, or you're planning on doing a lot of movies, then I would really recommend investing in one of these guys. It's like $40, I think. You can fill it with ice water and just put out cups, and again with the marker, so that people can label their cups. It's insulated, it keeps stuff cold for a long time. Very important to stay hydrated, so check that out. People also like a little bit of variety though, so go ahead and invest a few dollars in some generic sodas, like a caffeine-free, a diet, and a regular cola kind of thing. Put those on ice. It really is sometimes the littlest things that make a big difference in the morale of your casting crew. And sometimes, dude, ice-cold cola is just the ticket. All right, well, I hope those tips help. All these recipes can be found over at hilahcooking.com. And happy filmmaking, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Hilah. Something else you might want to do is ask everyone on your cast and crew if they have a special food need or allergy. The last thing you want to do is serve something peanut-based, let's say, to someone who has a peanut allergy. Now, something else I've done for you is I found a $30 5-gallon water cooler on Amazon. I'm going to share the link down below to that, as well as a link to Hilah's granola bar recipe. I want to thank Hilah Johnson and her producer, Christopher Sharp, who also happens to be a micro-budget filmmaker, for doing this segment for us. And if you'll excuse me, I think I'm going to have another granola bar. See you later. As well as a link to Hilah's granola bar recipe. I'd like to thank Hilah Johnson and her professor, producer